Hi and welcome. I'm trying to learn Urbanism. Today Persepolis, and after we've done that, we're gonna do median plane training. And if you participate in the median plane training, then it's very obviously. Now Persepolis, this is written here, is a double page about Persia, and there's Persepolis mentioned, and I want to make now a little prepare and show a little presentation about Persepolis. I don't think we need it. Now we got that here. 550 before Christ, the Medes themselves were overthrown by the Persians. The Persians are overthrown the Medes in 550 before Christ. The Persians were led by Cyrus II, grandson of Astyages. And Cyrus II conquers Lydia, Babylon, establishes the Persian Empire. I don't think we need it. And then the Persian Empire was ruled by the Achaemenid family, but we don't need it as well. Now, under the rule of Darius I, the Persian Empire reached its greatest extent. 521, 480, 60, Darius I's rule. Darius, who called himself Shahanshah, king of kings, introduced gold and silver coins and also brought chickens to the Middle East. I don't think we need it, but I think that it's an interesting thing where we're talking about urbanism and how a city like Persepolis starts to come about. I don't know if Persepolis exists today or whatever, but how a city comes about. So we're going to mention the thing of the gold and silver coins as well. And the chickens. Darius built a famous road system, we're going to say that as well, and split his empire into 20 satrapies, 20 regions, each ruled by a satrap. King's ears were officials who traveled around the empire and reported any trouble back to the king. Do we need that? Maybe it would be an interesting thing, because the Persians built luxurious cities and palaces, first at Susa, then in Darius' reign at Persepolis. Maybe Persepolis existed earlier. And the sentence means they built luxurious cities like Susa and palaces like at Persepolis. Was Persepolis whatever. I assume the city's name is Persepolis. If there's something wrong with that assumption, I don't think it's a bit grave. It's just a little thing, but it's an important thing. The Persians built luxurious cities and palaces, first at Susa, then in Darius' reign at Persepolis. It is possible that people want to say that Persepolis was completely founded and built and expressed it in that way. Maybe Persepolis existed earlier, or Persepolis is no city at all. Maybe Persepolis is just a mountain, and the city is now named after the mountain, whatever. I think we're just going to say Persepolis was built luxurious with the palace. I think we're okay with that. Persian priests, I don't think we need that. Or Magi were known for their magic skills and gave us the word magic. A famous magus called Zarathustra unusually worshipped a single god, Ahura Mazda. And his god's evil enemy was Anra, mind you. Rich carvings adorned the wall at Persepolis. Walls at Persepolis, the great city and palace of Darius' reign. Persepolis, I think the second part of the sentence, the great city and palace of Darius' reign, means the city itself was the palace of Darius' reign. Now I don't know how big that Persepolis now was, or what type of city, and if that maybe is more or less all. It would be also possible that both the palace has the name Persepolis and the city. Both named after a mountain. It's just hypothetical, it was as an example. Okay, what are we going to say? We maybe stay a little bit vague on that point with Persepolis, which is the actual point of the video, but we're explaining the whole urbanism part around. Okay, Cyrus II do we not need. We need here Darius I. Darius I was ruling in Persia. We don't know exactly, 500 before Christ. Darius I was ruling in Persia, and he did a few things. He split it. I think we experienced that exactly. He split the empire the empire in 20 satrapies, ruled by satraps, so 20 different regions. And then he had also people called king's ears, who were traveling around the country and reporting back to him what was happening in the country. And he also, to make all that happening, his empire had a good infrastructure, he let build a famous road system, or road system. Also during the time were luxuriant cities and palaces built. At Susa and also at Persepolis. That's the whole topic, Persepolis. There were palaces, and there was a palace and luxurious cities built. And in Persepolis, there were rich carvings as ornament at the city walls and also at the walls of the palace itself. And I think that is all that we could say. That we have in quite something about Persepolis. We don't even know if Persepolis still exists or whatever happens to know Persepolis. But I think which is quite good for Persepolis and urbanism. So I'm going to start with the second camera. And let's look if we can do it. Persepolis. Persepolis is a city in Persia. So here's Europe, here's Asia, and then it's here in the Middle East with Iran, and Iran is the region where 2,500 years ago was the Persian Empire. Now in Persia, and there was 500 before Christ, Darius I ruling, and he introduced gold and silver coins and also chickens to the Middle East. He built a road system, and he split the whole empire into 20 different regions called satrapies, ruled by a satrap. And he had king's ears traveling around the country and reporting back to him what was happening in the country. Now, and cities and palaces were built, for example at Susa and also at Persepolis. And at Persepolis, where the city walls were adorned with rich carvings, and also the walls of the palace were adorned with rich and beautiful ornaments and carvings. That is according to Miles Kelly's World History, page 100 and 101. I said Susa. Susa, sorry. I'm going to stop the camera. And that was the Urbanism Persepolis part. If you were here for Urbanism Persepolis, you can go directly to the next part. We will do now medium plane training. If you stay participate in the medium plane training, that is better. Ja, det ska bli väldigt lekker. Håll för fotboll. And we have a point for football. And now back side. Toss the body forward, we're stretching the inner side of the leg. Now to the other side, stretch the inner side of the leg. And from side to side. And one leg up. To the right angle, the flex foot, even on tips taller than the back. The press on the top against the knee. Little bend in the elbow. And the other leg up. And press on the top against the knee. And the other leg up. And press on the side against the knee. And again, the other leg up. And press again from the side. Slash and back slash exercise. And again, leg up. And now that's when you press up to the side. The other knee up, and when you press up to the side. Now a heavy swing though. One leg up, right angle of the leg, flexible in the stone of the back. Press on the outside against the knee, little bend in the elbow, and up slowly. And crossing it slowly. And open. And another. And the last time. Now the other leg up. Same setup. And press on the outside. And open slowly. one more time, slower. No, walk on the place. Legs wide apart, breathe in. And out. And out. Breathe in, cross the legs. And breathe out. Let's pause for medium weight training. I thank you very much, and until next time.